Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high level game of StarCraft 2. Today in our bottom left corner, spawning as the purple Zerg player playing for Team Ants. You've guessed it, it's Serral. In the top right as our yellow Terran player playing for Storm Gaming. It's Gumiho. So open up with a fast reactor. How fast is that reactor? Oh, that is the first thing that he built off of this. Interesting. Gumiho, of course, one of the GSL winners that won the GSL while not being on a Korean team. I think Rain might have been the first player to do that when he was in My Insanity, and the second one must have been Gumiho, which also was fairly impressive, of course. Factory goes down here. Let's have a look at this game though. Serral opening up pretty standard. Map's going to be inside and out, which it's a difficult map to judge. It often feels like in the early stages, or like kind of like the fourth, the fifth base situations, Zerg feels pretty okay. But the moment you get to that full-on split map where Terran has 6 bases, Zerg has 6 bases, it can be really difficult for the Zerg player to get anything going. There's just not that many good angles to engage from. You get like a planetary over here, you have like your planetary in this position, maybe you get a planetary on top of this ramp as well. You pretty much shut down any potential run bys. We often see a planetary over here in kind of this general position as well. So there's just a lot of options for the Terran to be extremely defensive, but Serral's not going to be waiting for this as he scouted. Ooh, it's kind of cool. Serral scouted the complete lack of any Reaper or anything like that. He's going to lose an Overlord here. That's actually going to suck if you want to get a couple of Roaches out, which definitely did seem to be the plan here for Serral. We'll need to build more Overlords now as a result. Feels like this is going to be 8 to 9 Roaches or so. 7 to 9? I feel like this could be 9 Roaches. Look at the gas mine here. Every roach 25 gas, of course. Might want to get one Ravager in as well. Speed hasn't finished. Hell, speed hasn't even started yet. Now this is something that Gumiho could pay attention to and say, hey, this is odd. Where's your queens? And 2, where are your lings with the speed? What's going on here, buddy? 6 roaches are going to be constructed. 7 roaches are going to be built. 8. Make it 9. Do we have 9? Yep, 9 roaches making their way across the map relatively soon from this point on out. And that means that for Serral it's absolutely key right now to take out these Hellions or force these Hellions away from the entrance. Or Serral will need to walk through the left side. Now, he's going to straight up show these units. And I think Gumiho can just return back home right now with these Hellions. There is an armory on the way, and usually roaches against an armory are good, but only if those roaches are being used defensively. These roaches are being used aggressively. These Hellions can turn into Hellbats, or can go for a little bit of a base trade, and that's actually what Gumiho is doing here. Rather than staying at home, he says, hey, I can just go across the map and deal some damage on the other side of the map. Let's see what you have ready for that. Now, these roaches are moving in. SCV's still on the low ground, which is definitely a mistake. Depot needs to be raised really quickly. There we go. We'll be in time. Repair on this depot is going to be important as well as Hellions make their way in towards the third base. Main base still under siege. As 9 SCVs have gone down, 7 drones have died as well, but more SCVs are falling every single second. Tank finishes up and will siege up. 2 more Marines coming out. That makes a total of 4 Marines, as these roaches will try and run through, either snipe down the tank or, well, I think this tank, if it unsieges, will actually be just fine. Doesn't need to unsiege. Banshees showing up as well. These Hellions did so much damage though, dealing 23. Are taking out 23 drones here. We'll probably get a couple more even at this third base. Single Banshee is out. If the Banshees or if the Hellions stay alive here, which I assume they will. Yep, there we go. Whew. Then more units need to be built here. 6 roaches are out. We have 2 tanks. We have a Banshee. This is one of these pushes where it almost feels like the AI easy has taken over, you know? It's like one of everything. It's like 3.5 Hellbats. Half a medevac, 3 Marines, a Banshee, like send over some SCVs as well for repairing, a random siege in the middle of the map, and then going back home. This actually does feel a lot like an easy AI type of attack. Of course, it makes more sense because of how this game went in the early game. Ooh. It's going to be in an on-position command center, which is kind of rare to see. It's going to be a dead Banshee. No, it's not. It's going to be an alive Banshee, which is also cool. There's only 1 Banshee out, and the follow-up was a Raven here. Question now is going to be, will this be mech or is this going to be bio? We'll see in about 2.5 seconds from now. It's going to be bio. You can just build the barracks over here. Double barracks should start producing right now. You're playing double... What? This doesn't even make sense because Gumiho is just floating 600 minerals. He's just forgetting about the barracks. That's not good. He forgot them for at least like 20-25 seconds. He's had the money the entire time. He could straight away go up to like 5 barracks or even 8 barracks. Look how much money he's floating right now. This is actually insane. Did he just forget about the build order? Yeah, it's gonna add the extra 2 barracks right away. Wants to consider starting medevacs, doesn't have the gas for it. It's like, well, I also only have 2 marines. Like, what am I gonna do with 3 medevacs and 6 marines total? The answer there should be not a whole lot. 4 of these marines will get picked up back into the medevac here straight away as they go stand next to this burning pile of trash. I do think it's something along those lines. It's almost see-through though. Oh, it's because I was hovering over it. Look at that. What actually is this? Just like a burning building? It's like a parking garage for Hellions or something like that. You can put your car there for 25 minerals an hour and it will be safe. Well, not anymore, but before this building was continuously burning. The reason why it's burning is because 2 of the Hellions inside fought each other with their flames. The whole building caught fire. Everyone lost their cars. It is what it is. Happens to the best. Overseer is going to make its way across the map. We have a range upgrade, carapace upgrade, infestation pit. You guys smell that? Exactly. It's going to be a quick lurker rush here. Or a 1-1 attack. No, 12 more drones. It's going to be a lurker rush. That's the only thing that really makes sense at this point. The only thing that I can imagine is coming out of this. Gumiho should have been on the map already if it wasn't for his poor barracks production in this game. Could have had way more marines. Oh, look at that cash that he's floating. This is kind of insane for a high-level player, isn't it? He's just consistently floating cash. The 4th base could have already started a while ago. Armory is done, of course, because he opened up with a helmet attack, so 2-2 can start right away. Ooh, Raven could be super useful as well with that anti-armor missile. 3 tanks against this army. Feels like it could shoot. Woulda be enough, but Gumiho's just going to return back home right now. Still hasn't started that 4th base. This is the first time we're going under 400 minerals. 400 mineral float in like the past 4 minutes or so, it feels like. It's kind of odd here. It is kind of odd. Hive is being constructed already. We have a lurker den on the way. Now, often as a Zerg player, you need to make decisions. Every race needs to make decisions, but in this case a decision between seismic spines and lurkers, or first getting a couple of Vipers out. Getting Vipers out often is a safer play, but it does end up usually delaying your lurker transition, because lurkers just cost a lot of gas, the upgrades cost a lot of gas, and Vipers also cost a lot of gas. So you're competing, basically, Vipers and lurkers are competing with one another for that gas. It seems like the answer is going to be a single Viper to start with. So there's at least something there for parasitic bombs, maybe an abductor or 2 on a tank if it's necessary. Serral will push this away. Follows up with carapace as well as a melee upgrade. Well, we have 2-2 coming out here for Gumiho. Gumiho who's been surprisingly calm this game. He is a player that likes to go out with these drops on the map rather often. Curious to see what he's going to be doing here. Can take out maybe 1 queen here. Yep, gets 1 queen, picks up immediately. Tank in a very nice position. Look at that. Oh, this is really a problem on this map. These types of positions. Look at that. Tank still going pretty ham here actually. As Gumiho tries to kill a couple of units. Takes a couple of creep tumors out. Marines will walk into the roaches, ravagers, and lynx that were standing over here on the right side. one patch is Raven still alive? What happened with the Raven actually? I didn't quite see it die. It must have died somewhere because it ain't here. It ain't with us no more. Yeah. Also shows up on the unit slot. Just making sure it wasn't some type of hallucination. Seems like an okay-ish fight here initially for Gumiho. 2 tanks will fall, which will make this fight a lot harder immediately as well. this is still largely a Marine army, and this was pre-2-2, which definitely is a mistake, isn't it? I guess Serral kind of forced him to fight there. I mean, it was partially off creep, but still, feels like Serral got the better trade there. Triple lurker run-by. This is the type of stuff that you love to see. I really like lurker run-bys. They're one of my favorite things in the world. It looks so stupid. It's relatively difficult to deal with still. Are these orange things eyes? What are they? But this base isn't even set up yet. This always feels bad. If you're harassing something, there's no workers yet to kill. Sometimes have that when you're being all in as well. You're flying with your Oracle in the third base, and there's no drones to kill. It's like, huh. At the same time, 4 banelings bust down, or 5 banelings bust down your adept in the wall. And the links start dancing in your natural. Very funny when that happens. I cry and I laugh at the same time. 8 Rex is out already. Ghosts have started producing. That means that we'll be heading into... It's not really a late game. It feels like a hybrid between a late and a mid game that we're in right now. Serral's moving in though. Takes out a couple of these tanks immediately. Good blinding cloud on top of that as well. As the Ravagers are not really hitting anything with their piles, and Serral has to piss off again. He's like, oh, this did not go quite how I wanted it to, but I killed the tank, so let me just run away straight away. I think that is definitely going to be the correct call. One of these lurkers is still alive, will not be capable of doing anything as long as there's a scan available. Of course, the risk is Gumiho have been saving at least one. It's actually completely out of scans at this point, though. It's a little bit dangerous. Single drop heading towards the far left side, as this tank on the high ground will get absolutely nuked by these roaches and ravagers. A couple of ghost snipes will go down as well. Ooh, do these bad boys. What's the chance they're on the hold fire right now? I think there's a pretty decent chance they're in hold fire. For the people who are not aware, the lurker have a command, I guess it's called hold fire, and that means that whenever units get in range, the lurkers won't attack them until you undo the hold fire. So you tell them you can start shooting now. You can get some really cool things with that. I remember there was once an epic game on, I can't even recall what that map was called, between DNS and Sortov, where DNS loses like 130 supply or so against 12 lurkers that are on hold fire. Absolutely epic move. Ghosts are, well, they're getting blasted here. We'll stay alive for now. 3-3 finishes up as well. 24 banelings on the way. Serral is looking to get into that proper late game right now. The late game where you get to clear some bases on the edges. Gumiho is still stuck on 4 bases right now. Usually, Serral doesn't really want to pounce on someone until they take a 5th base. Serral only beats up rich people. He says, okay, if you're poor and you're on 4, that's all okay. I'll let you live for a little longer. And then the moment you try and take a 5th and want to start making some real money, then boom, he comes in. Just absolutely destroys you. Here we go, parasitic bomb being thrown on one of these medevacs. Banelings not quite getting the good connections that they want. Banelings now trying to take out a tank as well. It's kind of a bad engagement here for Serral, honestly. Just weird target fire, weird focusing there coming out of him. Banelings eventually just kind of busting on a tank. I'm not sure if that is the optimal solution for a unit that is that expensive. And especially going in a unit that can take that many banelings. Nidus network is being started right now. We have a Viking already in dead space and a couple of Marines and Ghost waiting in the main. This is the man who has been hurt before in his life. You know, he's never loving again, that's for sure. Look at this. He's died to one too many Niduses. Yeah, he has the Ghost ready. The Marines are there. There's the tank as well. Holy crap. Yeah, this is legit like what, 12, 13 supply being dedicated to just denying a potential Nidus. I'd love for Serral to try again, but I don't think it's gonna happen this game unless a massive F2 command is going to pull these units away. Lurkers are being cleaned up here, as once again, good engagement here for Gumiho. 2 tanks are left behind here on the top side. Defensive rotation for Gumiho is coming in right now. Ghosts are in the far back. This planetary will end up falling. Orbital gets lifted. A very wise move indeed. And as the banelings run away, this was a fight that I do approve of here for Serral, where he manages to take out one of the bases. He's already double expanding here on both of Gumiho's 5th and his 6th base, saying, hey, every mineral that I can take away from there counts double, because it's going to be a mineral that you won't have. And I think that is an absolutely brilliant way of thinking about this type of game. We now have a Nidus going down on the far right side. I'm not so sure what's going to be put in that Nidus. For now, the Nidus network is empty. Maybe it's just like a scary Nidus. You know, the Nidus meant to scare your opponent, not really meant to kill. Spire on the way here immediately as well. Behind this, we have actually kind of a big Hellion production. We must have a third factory somewhere as well. Yeah, there we go. Saw 4 Hellions being produced at a time. Lings will get taken out before they get to the sensor tower. We have another engagement here into this. Where are the ghosts? The ghosts are severely out of position once again. This base can't get taken out though. Will the ghost be connected to by these banelings? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. These medevacs are running rather low. And the resources lost in favor of Gumiho, which means that Serral, well, actually needs to start taking good fights, or really needs to start getting to work on these bases. There we go. 16 workers on the one base. We see 3 workers coming in for a transfer from somewhere right now. Because these are... Oh, this makes 6 already. I wouldn't even mind if Serral says, hey, I'm just going to start mining with every single worker that I have over here. It probably would be a good call. Uses the changelings to spot any incoming dangers. Of course, Hellions would be great to send towards the top left side right now. And every single mineral, once again, that Serral is getting here is a mineral that Gumiho won't get. So I kind of like, in a way, that Serral continues bouncing into this 4-base position, just to kind of keep Gumiho weak, keep him afraid of moving out. Every single time you move a little bit away from your base, you get absolutely blasted by a Lingbane Lurker army, or in this case, more of a Hydra Lingbane Infestor Viper army. Then yeah, life's going to be quite tough. Yeah, this is the move that I was talking about. Just pulling away from this base. You're going to mine out this base eventually anyway, Serral. That's completely fine. It is this base that we're caring about. Would love to see some gas coming in as well. I mean, minerals are good, but the problem with minerals really just is that eventually you're only going to be capable of building links. And links just aren't that great. We have an infestor. Oh my god. Behind enemy lines. This must be proper scary as an infestor, no? You don't quite know what's up ramped. Like maybe there's a turret somewhere. Maybe someone randomly scans. Look at that. Oh my god, he has a bunch. Some sleeper agents over here. Look at that. Yo, this is gonna get taken out, surely. Let's take a look at the first person here out of Serral and just look at the vision that he has and the decisions he can make. He's gonna run in immediately, takes out 2 of these liberators, takes out 1 of the tanks as well, loses the right side base, but managed to evacuate majority of the drones. At the same time takes out this base over here. Creep spread provides a lot of vision, the sleeper agent infestors as well. Ooh, it's scary. He's like sweating. Oh no, Lynx, don't come too close. Please don't come too close. Don't do it, please. Don't do it, please. Can we get a neural parasite here? Maybe we can actually. I think that was an infestor that just got taken out, yeah. Flew too close to the sun being the turrets there. Oh, a lot of ghosts out. 22 ghosts out right now. Oh, managed to take over 1 ghost and then EMP his own ghost. Or Serral EMPing Gumiho's ghost. Gumiho actually doesn't have a lot of bank. Gumiho also doesn't have a lot of money, but he has a massive freaking army. He has so many ghosts right now, it's crazy. Okay, this is going to be a move in, isn't it? Yeah, look at this. Serral's preparing for this right now. Here comes a fungal or maybe a neural. What are we waiting for, Serral? Would love to see that. Fungal hits, connects with, what, 6-7 ghosts. Banelings, as a result of that, do get to connect this on. This was a great engagement here for Serral, taking out a lot of these ghosts right now. As, I love these Nidus worms to just evacuate any units that need to be evacuated. And right now I feel like a lot of units need to end up being evacuated here. No, says Serral. Serral's gonna try once more. Maybe Neural Parasite a tank. No, it's going to fungal once again. Hitting a lot of these ghosts. Every ghost he takes out is a great kill, honestly, because there's just no money to reproduce these ghosts. It is still 101 supply against 54. There's not that many larvae available either, which is an actual issue right now. This base is going to get taken out. This Nidus network, well, the Nidus network has been taken out as well, which means that the drones will die. Gumiho is going to start mining his left side base. Resources lost. Serral is down 13,000 resources right now. Luckily, he's been mining so much more than his opponent that it doesn't matter that much right at this moment. But if we're talking 4 or 5 minutes from now and we have a couple more fights like this, yeah, I'm actually starting to get a little bit afraid here for Serral. The only thing that Gumiho truly is lacking is a base for the far left side. Almost feels like he needs to fly his natural or his main over towards that left side. I guess this one could do. Why does he fly his third? What? That one's still mining. You can't be serious. Yeah, this one. There we go. Or this bad boy. Either or. We have a... Ooh. Kind of like that. It is. What you could do is you unburrow. Then the tank splash takes out this tank. And then at the same time you take this tank with a neural after the first shot. That would be pretty sick. Serral moving in right now. Will not neural anything over here. That seems to be the case. Wants to save this unit for a later time perhaps. Uh-oh, maybe this is the later time, as he probably wants to go for a ghost. Maybe he wants to go for a tank. Maybe he actually wants to end up going for a fungal. No, neither quite is the case. Link gets killed here. That was burrowed. As Serral moves back and forth on the far right side as well. He's playing one hell of a game, isn't he? The Finnish Wonder Child. A couple of mules coming out of the sky. I bet you're real afraid as an SCV of your mining here, and you see these massive shadows coming over. You're not sure if it's like a Zerg drop pod, like you see in the campaign, or if it's going to be a mule. It's not like you get a sign in from the commander. It's like, hello. You get like a signal, it's like it's mules coming in. You see a shadow coming over you, and then you hope you don't die. Being an SCV is not a very fun job. That's the one thing I can guarantee you. It has to be a terrible job. Like, what are the benefits as well? I guess the benefits are that you don't have to go into battle, but you're working either with dangerous materials. Your arm is an actual drill. People always have pity for Captain Hook because his arm was a hook. But these guys, they have a hook and a drill. They don't have a single normal hand. Good luck getting any type of regular relationship with hands like this, mate. Don't think there's too many people that are down for that. Oh. Serral's going to move forward. Is there Vipers with this? Yep, there are some Vipers. Blinding Cloud's going to connect with one or two of these tanks. This is a pretty decent engagement again for Gumiho. Holy crap. These fights are sick. They're actually really, really sick. The thing is that Gumiho just keeps losing stuff in these fights, which is bad. Ideally, he doesn't lose anything whatsoever. It keeps very, very high army supply. Serral probably thinking right now, hey, he's moving out. There might be an opportunity here for me to finish the game. Because Gumiho can't really move out at this point. I understand why Gumiho is trying it. He wants to get some counterattack going after that good fight. But it's just so difficult for him to get anything done. Especially on creep. Banelings are going to, well, not quite connect with anything. Ghosts do get to stay alive, but another 30-40 supply gets taken out on the side of Gumiho. And for Gumiho to rebuild 30 supply, it just takes like a minute and a half. Ghost will clear this up eventually, which is nice once again, but Serral still has such a massive bank. He's mining from that right side as well, so no matter what happens, he's going to have mined way more at the end of this game than Gumiho. The question is, can Gumiho get good enough trades for that? And will Gumiho stay alive until that happens? Because right now, Serral just has a lot of money and Gumiho doesn't. And that's definitely an issue. Burrowed how are these guys just constantly sneaking in? Freaking Serral should apply to be the new James Bond. Sure would be doing a better job than all the idiots that are James Bond right now. James Bond is a relatively bad spy. How often he gets tricked by women is actually insane. You'd reckon that after a while he wouldn't fall for it anymore, no? It's like, oh, another attractive woman fighting for the enemy? Surely this is not going to be another trap, and boom, there we go again. Oh, GG gets called. Serral wins the game. As Serral, a very efficient James Bond. And yeah, nice little game here. Did like that. Good old Gumiho tried his best, and what I kind of discussed in the early game, right, is that if you get to a 6 versus 6 situation, it can be difficult for the Zerg to take good fights. And even here at the end, I mean, Serral ends up being down 13k in trades, but because he managed to mine that right side, mine a little bit from the left side as well, denied the 5th base forever, which is absolutely key on this map. We get to see a win here for Serral. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.